guys, and welcome to Sparking Wisdom. This is Teacher Talk Tuesdays, and today I'm going to be talking about goal setting and why I create classroom goals with my students. But before we get to that, make sure that you click the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and turn on the notifications so that you can see when I make other Teacher Talk Tuesday videos. Today I wanted to talk about classroom goals. This is something that I have been doing since my very first year teaching. I actually have an example of one of the goals right here. So I started doing classroom goals because I like giving student voice and choice into my classroom. Now, if you're a fellow teacher, that is a buzzword that we are hearing all the time, choice and voice for the students. And I don't do it just to be with the times, I guess, because we have to do it. I see amazing results with doing goals. So this is how I do it. So after the first unit is done in my class, so with my Skinny 5 class, our first unit was just foundations of world history. So they learned about why do we study history, the themes of history, world religions, and how humans got from like early humanity to civilization. So just a general overview of history. And then I start collecting data. How I do that, I look at a couple different factors. So I look at their class average, their test average, number of missing assignments, and then I also kind of keep a mental track of behavior corrections. Like how are they functioning as a class? And I put that all in a little Post-it note. And the day after the test, I sit down with my students and we reflect. And so I lead a discussion with them talking about, okay guys, how did the first unit go? And I really try to make this reflection process very informal. As in, I sit out in a chair in front of them with my little notepad and I just take notes. And I ask them, how did you do? How did the class do? How do you think we could improve this class? So not only does that get them to start thinking about, hey, I can make suggestions to make this better, but I also like receiving those suggestions because it helps me to improve as a teacher. And I am in a constant state of improvement, which is one of the reasons I started Sparking Wisdom in general, because I like to learn and I like to share what I have learned in the hopes that other people can become better and then they can share their wisdom with me as well. Anyways, so I like to lead this discussion and I ask them to think about what are some things that other teachers do that you really enjoy? Or what are some classes that you don't like? And why is that? And then this year is a crazy year with going into blended learning style and things like that. So I also try to figure out what works well for them. You know, I asked them, what kind of activities did you enjoy doing in class? What kind of activities were easier to do at home, or would you rather do at home? You know, for example, is it easier for them to watch a video in class, or is it easier for them to go on YouTube and watch a video at home? We found that because of different restrictions that we have on YouTube, that for a lot of them, they can't watch certain videos on YouTube. And so watching videos in class is better. A lot of these are things that I just haven't done in the past, so I wouldn't know. So it's able to improve the class through their ideas and their direction. If you watched my other video about the most impactful moment of my teaching career, you know how important it is to me to really talk to the students as like human beings. And I know that sounds weird, but being able to talk to them and get their input, I don't think happens very often. A lot of times I feel like they're just talked at instead of talk to and listen to. And so this reflection process is a great way to start to open that level of communication. And I can tell that normally through these reflective processes that switch gets flipped. And that's awesome. Second part of this process is the actual goal setting. So what I do is I write like skinny 5 goals on the board, and then I write the letters down the side of SMART, which is SMART goals. And this is a goal setting technique that I use in my own life, and it's a goal setting technique that a lot of the students have heard before because they've set individual goals before. And so in my class, what I use is S for specific, so making sure that we have narrowed down our focus. M for, can tell I'm in my classroom. So S for specific, making sure we narrow down our focus. M for measurable, so we need to have data. We need to look at data, and I share what I have collected with them. And then some AR. A for attainable, so making sure it's not something ridiculous like all students in this class need to get 101%. Just not gonna happen. So R, I have related. I say related for R just because I want to make sure that they're focusing on this class and not just in general that they want to get better. And then T for timely. So when I set goals in my class, they only last a unit at a time. And the reason why I do that is because sometimes I really push them to set lofty goals. But as you probably know, if you have made goals in life and you keep not making them, that doesn't make you want to work for them anymore. And it gets really frustrating and you get really down. So if we set a goal, for example, that their test average needs to improve by 5%. Let's say after this first unit, it only improved by like 4%. And then we do the next unit, and again, we didn't improve past 4%. Then we don't use this goal anymore. We set a different goal. And we do that so that they can continue to practice setting goals, but also know that, hey, it's okay to change your goal. In life, if something is not working for you, stop doing it. Okay, if this is an unreasonable, which I don't think it is, but if it happened to be an unreasonable goal, we don't have to keep reaching for it. Let's create a different goal, maybe something smaller, or maybe something that's we're going to be able to reach, and then we push ourselves past that next time. So we talk about that. So when we set the goals, we have our data, like I said. So in, for example, my Skinny 5 goals, we talk about test average, the number of Fs we have in class, so another grade-related one, class average, missing assignments, which is going to help all of them. And then we also have behavior corrections. So I tell them that class can improve not only academically, but like behavior-wise and social-wise. So what I count behavior corrections is every time I have to redirect the class. So either they're talking while I'm talking, maybe they're talking when they should be working, maybe they are trying to sneak their cell phone when they shouldn't, maybe they're playing games when they have missing assignments. I mean, anytime they need like redirection. So trying to get them to self-correct and also keep each other accountable, that one can get tricky because when it comes to missing assignments and behavior corrections, students usually know which ones are causing the problems. And so if you do make goals with your class, I suggest that day one, you make sure to tell the kids that these goals should not be used to penalize anybody. It should never, ever be half the students focusing on the other half the students of like, why are you not getting this done? You made us not do these goals. If it ever turns into a negative situation, stop. Absolutely stop. So there's times where that has happened with me. So like the behavior corrections, I've had it turn negative before where kids are like, would you just shut up already? You keep giving us these tally marks. Nope, not okay. So just be careful and make sure that these goals are being set in a positive way. Normally, just through conversations, we can settle that. So for example, I had a student that was absent today, and the students, when we were creating, not this class, but a different class of goals, they're like, well, this person always has a lot of missing assignments, so we should up our missing assignment goal. It's like, guys, that's not how we do things in this class. We don't be negative like that. We're not going to be negative at each other like that. Instead, think of what can you do to help our classroom goal, because it's everybody together. If you know one student struggles with getting their missing assignments done, how about the rest of us help them by not having any missing assignments? If we have a goal of, in this unit, we can only have 9 missing assignments, and you see this kid already has 3, really make sure that you don't have any missing assignments. So we can still help each other in this class goal by doing our own part. Secondly, if you know somebody's struggling, again, let's stay with missing assignments, reach out and help them. Say, hey bud, I see that you're missing this assignment. Can I help you with it? Now, that does not mean copying and doing the work for them, but that does mean helping them. Maybe reaching out, emailing, like, hey, a reminder that this is due today. There's a way that we can phrase it in a positive light where it's coming as a helpful situation and not as a negative, you got to get this done, or we're not going to get this assignment, or we're not going to get this goal. So they learn pretty quickly how to do that. After we create the goals, we then have the kids' favorite part, and we come up with rewards. So the rewards can be pretty entertaining. So I sometimes get classes that are really creative and some that are pretty basic when they come up with their rewards. So a lot of the common rewards we have are things like homework passes, extra credits, pizza parties, movie day, game day, etc. Now, with COVID, we've had to adjust some of these things. We'll figure that out once we get there. They have to make the goal first before we can think about the reward or how we're going to do the reward. Anyways, but also they can get really creative. Also on the sheet, we have prank a teacher. So they pick a fellow teacher of mine and they decide to prank them. And we go in after school and we don't do anything super destructive, but we do cause a little bit of chaos. And that one's been pretty fun. I have been duct taped to a wall multiple times, so has other students. That one's always pretty entertaining. We've also gone even more extreme and gotten parental permission for this, but we have dyed hair, we have shaved heads before. We've gotten kind of crazy, and again with the correct permissions, but it's been fun. We've also had a snowman and snow angel creation day, and then we all came in and we had hot chocolate. So it's just a lot of fun little things. But what's nice is that we set really good lofty goals. So it's not like I'm taking up 7 days to do these things, but also in life, we don't work just to work. I mean, we work towards a goal and towards something. So giving kids a break once every unit to just do something fun or say like, hey, you earned this, and do something great is fantastic. Some of the results that I have seen from goal creation. I think the biggest one for me is it allows me to get to know my students better. Like I said in the beginning, with those different conversations of reflecting and goal setting, it just allows me to talk to my students, and it allows that switch to be flipped for me. So I really enjoy just having those informal conversations. Sometimes those are the best conversations. The second thing is that I've noticed it really helps with classroom collaboration, and it makes our classroom a little bit more of like a functioning kind of family unit. Like I said, when it comes to when you're creating the goals, to make sure they're never negative, that idea of like, hey, we're in this together, I'm gonna help you out, we got this. It's sometimes I tell them it's kind of like you versus the goals. Like you have these goals and you guys can attain them if you work together, and trying to build that sense of camaraderie. And I love that. It seems to work out really well. I can see oftentimes like the day before the test, because once the test is done, then I look at the goals. People are like, who needs help? Who's missing this? You gotta do this. Here's an extra worksheet. Mrs. Pettit, can we give this? And it just seems like organized chaos where they're all trying to like scramble and get this together. And I love it when we do missing assignment goals, because I put the number of missing assignments that they have up on the board. And then every time somebody turns it in, I like erase the number and I write the new number down, and we're trying to get to that goal. And once we hit it, then everybody cheers, and it's really exciting. So they really get that sense of bonding, and they come together as a class, and that's really fun. And then the third thing is that I've noticed a really big improvement in grades. So I definitely see an improvement in test scores and in class averages and in individual grades. I mean, I see a marked improvement in their actual grades, which is great for school. I mean, that's not the ultimate goal of the goals. I think there's a lot of other subtle reasons why these goals work really well. It teaches them life skills and work skills and with the bonding together. But if it does help their grades, that's fantastic. And so that's why I set classroom goals and kind of how I go about doing it. So again, this sheet is going to be up for a whole unit so they will know what their goals are. And at the end of the unit, we'll see how they do. So thank you for checking us out. Let me know in the comments below, did your teachers do anything like this? Or how has goal setting improved your life? Because I think goals can be just a marvelous thing, and I would love to hear your input. So thank you for checking out Sparking Wisdom on Teacher Talk Tuesdays, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.